$750 billion. That's the amount of money Google, Meta, Anthropic, Amazon combined along with Microsoft is spending on data centers alone in 1 year. Nvidia, which is now a $1 trillion company, Cloud, Anthropic, which is about to become a $1 trillion company, and many others who are about to follow this suit. Now, the fear is this a bubble? The problem is, if AI itself is a bubble, AI in biological research is definitely a bubble, right? So what we were talking about, AI will accelerate drug discovery, biological research, all of that goes down the drain. Whether it is a bubble, it is going to go away so that you don't commit a mistake, right? So I'm going to give you a crystal clear picture of how things work out, okay? People say it's a bubble to some extent. It can be true, but only if these companies make mistakes. But these companies are taking the biggest bet of humanity and they have AI. So do you think they won't use their own AI to analyze this situation? They would have done it, right? Let us look at some of the bubbles which has happened in the past. So there was a dot-com bubble, right? So during the dot-com bubble, what happened? Companies got ecstatic about, internet. So they built a lot of fibers, underground cables, and they spent billions of dollars in that. And then they realized that there's no consumption. Nobody's buying internet anymore. Not enough. So then they collapsed. Also, they had taken loans to build that infrastructure. But do you think Google, Meta, Amazon, and all these companies, Cloud, is taking debt to make these data centers, this capacity? The answer is no. The dot-com bubble was funded by debt. The AI bubble, which we are calling it, is not funded by debt, but it is funded by some of the most profitable companies in world's history. So that means that part is ruled out, that suddenly it will burst. Now let's look at the other side. Why are these companies going crazy and building so much capacity? Now the answer to that is because they know that if they build one data center in 1 year, let's say they spent $700 billion in 1 year, they built 100 data centers. Just like say, I'm sitting in this building, so this building will last for at least 25 years, right? So if I spend 50 crores in building this building, it's gonna, give me the payback for the next 25, 30 years or 100 years as long as this building exists. Same with data centers. As long as they are not dismantled, they're going to stay there. These investments which we are seeing in AI by these companies is because they know the data centers once built will remain forever. For the next 100 years, the data centers will be there. So if I spend $700 billion, it is going to pay me for the next $100 billion. But the capacity of AI is increasing 1,000 times every 6 months. So let's look at November of 2024, when, by the way, our OpenAI launched ChatGPT. The first model, and today if you compare, you'll be like, what? That model was so dumb. Today it is so smart. So what's really happening? The science is real. But here is something you all should know. As the demand will rise for AI, the AI tokens, so somewhere AI can get costly. So whether it will become a bubble or not, definitely AI tokens are going to get costly. So if anybody in biological research is going to build anything which requires a lot of AI tokens, it can get costly in the future. So the smartness is use AI to build softwares which can be used in drug discovery, not the vice versa. Or use AI but judiciously so that it doesn't require a lot of tokens, right? Even if it requires, it should accelerate the process so much that it can do it within seconds than minutes. And that is where it will make sense for you as a researcher to invest your time, money, effort, energy in AI in biological research. Now, AI itself is not a bubble. It is just that it is being funded by the most profitable companies on earth. Yes, some companies will collapse among all of this, and some of them will be the winner. If you remember when the food war began in India, so food delivery, we had Zomato, we had Flipkart also delivering, Swiggy also delivering food, we had all these companies, delivering food, FoodPanda, right? Tiny Owl, whatnot, right? At one point in time, I felt like I have been left behind. I should also start a food delivery company. But today, what happened? All of them got killed. FoodPanda got killed, Tiny Owl got killed, Zomato won, right? Swiggy is the next best option. So 2 players will always remain out of 4 or 5, whoever is battling. But right now in AI in biological research, there is no clear winner. Eli Lilly has just started building their supercomputer, right? Other companies have just started. So that war is yet to start at all. So if you become a specialist in AI in biological research, drug discovery, or AI in clinical data management, AI in clinical research, whatever you are doing, of course, with the help of Biotecnika, you can always do that. You can create things which will be used by these companies. The biggest and the best example I can give you is the study of AlphaFold's release. If you study it, how it is accelerating the rate of experimental structure determination, and that has always remained the biggest challenge for scientists. It would take 100 PhDs, 100 years to do what AlphaFold does in one day. So the single biggest win is a powerful accelerant already. Not a replacement of wet lab biology, but it is accelerating biology. The same is now happening across genomic foundation models. Autonomous labs are running millions of experiments a week, and models like ESM3 and BOLDS. These are research tooling layer, which is genuinely transforming research. Roughly $60 billion has already gone into the sector since 2019. And 175 AI-originated drug programs have entered human trials till now. Now, none of them have received FDA approval so far, but some estimates are putting it that AI healthcare investment is around $100 billion. Now, the industry is pushing towards a 90% clinical failure rate has not been repealed by algorithms. AI-discovered drugs are passing phase 1 safety at an 80 to 90% chances, but efficacy and toxicity failures still show up in humans, where AI can not yet predict them. So the chances are we have a lot of opportunity here to win. There is a company called Benevolent AI, which is restructuring the mid-stage failure. There is Recursion, which is quietly pruning the clinical programs, but the Recursion Existentia merger has got described as a consolidation for survival. But when it comes to bubble burst, the narrative is the first generation AI pharma startups so far have not shown clinical proof, but very soon that will be history. AI's capacity is increasing by 1000%, and companies are using Claude Fable and Claude Sonnet to discover drugs. Large language models which can not just reason out, but it can correct itself if it makes mistakes. The honest opinion, if you ask me, would be it's a hype cycle which we are in between. There is a lot of investments happening, but in the middle of this, staying behind is not an option. You must learn AI, and AI will definitely accelerate your career in the future. And currently also I can see a lot of Biotechnika students getting jobs in AI-driven companies. So all the best and wish you good luck. Keep shining.